All right, welcome back to another episode of the Bank On It podcast, episode number 28. Shout out to Marshall Falk and
Joe Mixon for the Bengals.
Guy we're definitely depending on next year to give the Bengals the division and possibly the AFC conference. Actually, let me not jump the gun too fast on that one. And just in case you're wondering, we are wearing the same thing as we were wearing in the previous episode. Not a big deal. We are brought to you by Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps. Both facilities treat your loved ones with care and respect. They offer therapy, daily activities, exquisite cuisine, home-like setting to make your family members feel at home. Call to schedule an appointment today at Cedar Creek. Call Jessica Thacker at 606-432-8243. And at Good Shepherd, call 606-456-8725. Caring for your loved ones is what they do best. And the beautiful city of Pikeville, go check out their website at www.visitpikeville.com and check out everything that they have going on. This is going to be a great summer. There's going to be all kinds of stuff to do in the downtown area, and we're looking forward to it. I am joined, as always, by regional sports editor Randy White. And listen, lots of exciting stuff going on up at Shelby Valley High School. So
a ton of exciting stuff going on. And by the way, before I get into that, what an intro.
Yeah.
Come on. Give it up for the intro.
I'm out here. I'm trying.
But anyway, Shelby Valley's, they got a new football locker room look to it. So we got up there. We toured the locker room, got some video of it, got some interviews with Coach Anthony Hampton. And then also, we got the basketball. They dedicated the locker room to Ronnie Johnson, a guy who's been there since 1997. Has been with every head coach up there. They dedicated the locker room now. It's forever going to be known as the Ronnie Johnson locker room. Great interview with Ronnie Johnson and head coach Jim Hicks. So, I mean, just a great couple stories there from Shelby Valley. Good to see their kids having these facilities.
Yeah, and just from my perspective, a lot of these high schools are glowing up in a major way as far as their locker rooms and their athletic facilities go around here. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Second to none in Eastern Kentucky. You look at Johnson Central's, they've got an outstanding stadium. Belfry, Pikeville, Shelby Valley, Pike Central, you go down the line, everybody's got these great facilities nowadays, so the kids got a lot to work with.
All right, well, stick around and check out the interviews coming up.
Well, what we're trying to do here at Shelby Valley, it's not just about practices and the wins and losses and X and O's, it's culture. We're trying to build a culture here in the community, not just in football, but in the community, of pride and detail and tradition. A lot of the things we've done in the locker room was some past teams, not just last year, but years previous, and trying to bring in the tradition, the love of the community, and of just the sport of football. It's the kids are really buying in, they understand that they're really taking pride in Shelby Valley, not just Shelby Valley football, but Shelby Valley, the community. Yeah, what we done that the coaches and myself and some local businesses really got together and kind of trying to quietly get it together, and some other local places come in and we got it painted, and then we came in and wrapped and got everything together, and just trying to get it done right coming out of spring break for the first spring ball practice was big. At times it was a little bit of a tedious task, but everyone really pitched in, joined together, and got it together. And I'll let the kids know today that this is just the beginning. There's actually a few more things that'll be in this locker room before the end of spring ball. But those are surprises daily that with the work and the dedication, not only the kids but the parents. People don't understand. I think sometimes that football is truly a family. It's not just the players. It's parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles. Everyone comes to support them and come together. There's more of a camaraderie and a family relationship that goes into that. And the fact that everyone's joined in and pitched in and really wants to see this thing grow is just phenomenal. It's very humbling for me to be a part of it. Well, one thing we've done, when I first took the head coaching job here, the first thing I wanted to focus on myself and my coaching staff, and I'm very lucky because most of my staff played for me at some point. And we kind of got together and we discussed what's important in life, not just football. And I'm really big on character. I just think if you do the right thing, even when no one's looking, things work out. Don't take shortcuts and do it. And we've kind of instilled that in the kids. And it's kind of not just the games, not just practices, but it is school. We go to the classroom and be on time, sit up front, pay attention, be a leader. It's one thing to be a leader on Friday night, but it's a whole other thing to be a leader the other 6 days of the week. It's very important that they learn to be a man and be a man the right way. I feel like sometimes society kind of lets us down a little bit, lets these kids down. These kids looking for, what is it meant to be a man? And fortunate for these kids, most of them can go home and look around their parents and see this is what it takes. And when that bleeds over and they got good upbringing at home and they see not only at home but at school and the football team that everyone's preaching the same thing, doing the same thing. And they're really starting to understand that character isn't just what you say, but it's more important what you do. And that's bleeding over, and we're really, the past 2 or 3 years, we've really been blessed with the fact that these kids' GPAs have gone up. Incidences in school went down. And now they're truly trying to lead. They're trying to be good men with character at all times. And it's really starting to pay off, and just to be honest, part of this, what we're doing with the locker room, it's a building block for what we want to achieve and get to here as a football program, but it's also a reward for what they've done and what they've become. It's crucial for these kids to understand that hard work does pay off, and sometimes life's just, life's unfair, and kids and people get bad breaks, and things don't go their way, and it's really beneficial for them to see the hard work, dedication, not taking shortcuts does pay off, and part of that we're trying to get instilled in them is the fact that, hey, when you do things the right way and work hard and go at it, and everyone's committed, everyone's together, there's true loyalty and trust and commitment by everyone involved, things grow, and the kids are starting to really buy into that and understand that. So that is part of what the locker room was. It was definitely a reward for what they've done, what they've proven, not only to move it to themselves. I think sometimes it's important for these kids to understand to prove something to themselves, because to another ball coach later in life it doesn't matter. But when they prove who they are to themselves, things really grow inside. And that kind of carries over, I guess you'd say, pays forward generations to come. So, it's crucial, I think, with what these kids are wanting to do and what they're wanting to become now. It's amazing to me to see where their mindsets were when some of them first came into high school, where their mindsets are now. Not just about football, but about life in general. And I'll be honest, I've had a lot of people compliment myself and my staff. It's really not us. It's God, period. Things changed in my life at the very moment. I decided to try to be a man of God and do the right thing. Things got better. And these kids are starting to see that too. And once we really live by faith and live by action, kind of be people of example, not people of talk. I think sometimes the players get tired of hearing me say, people will tell you what they want you to believe, but their actions will tell you the truth. And that's really big. It's really become really big to these kids. They start looking now at what people are doing, not what people are saying, and it's paying off. And well, hopefully, if the good Lord blesses, we'll continue to grow. I can't say enough about these kids, about these parents, about this community, the administration from the school, from the Pikeville Board of Education. Their support's been phenomenal. They just want to see the best for these kids, and it's been great to be a part of. I hope we'll continue to grow. Can't say enough about my coaches either. They are these guys are amazing. I've watched a lot of them grow up. I guess I'm telling my age a little bit, but watched a lot of them grow up. They've been a part of their lives for years, and watching them grow is not just coaches and men, but they're really taking off this thing. It's really impressive for an old man to watch.
Hard for you, but it's, and this is something, guys, that long after I'm gone and long after you guys are gone, and we do things when you play here, your name gets put in the locker, and this is always going to be here as long as this is a school. Okay, so this is really nice, really nice. It actually, it looks like it's painted on there, but it's on there. It's not coming off. But I think it's well deserved.
Well, it is appreciated. I've been here 21 years. I sat on the bench with all 4 previous coaches from 1997 up. So it's a lot of fun. I enjoy the kids. I enjoy watching them prosper. But recognition's not necessary. It's about the young man. We started at Norton and AAU back in the late 80s, early 90s. I coached at Norton for 4 years before I came here and sat on the bench with Ronnie. And, when you invest in young men in this game, it pays big dividends. You can't really put a cost on it, but we've traveled the whole state of Kentucky for probably 30, 32 years. And, it's been well worth it. To watch the community with a basketball program like Shelby Valley and the tradition that's now Shelby Valley, when you say the name recognition, but to be able to step on her up 7 times and be able to be there on a Saturday night and cut the nets down and then compete in the All-A. And when we won a couple All-A's back to back in the late 2009, 2010, and we were close again this year.
Yeah.
And, just to get to that level, you got to think how good it is and how hard it is to get there. Yeah. It does. You see kids that I coached back in the late 90s and in junior high. Today they have families and they come up and they give you that old big hug, and that friendship goes a lifetime.
Yeah.
And, that's what it's about. First off, I can count on one hand since I've been coaching the people that I've got a lot of friends all over the state that I've met and stuff, but Ronnie Johnson is a first class, high character man who has been great to be around. He's a very close friend of mine. And I got more excited about doing this, Randy, than I did playing in the All-A state semifinal game, just because enjoyment out of somebody that needed to be recognized, somebody that has donated so much time and given so much to his community and is a big part of his community and stuff like that. Coaching's hard. For every highlight like this, you'll have 4 or 5 people out bad mouthing you, saying what you're doing wrong, or trying to get you fired, or you ain't winning enough, or this one ain't shooting. It's crazy. It's sad, but Ronnie Johnson. If there were more people in this world like Ronnie Johnson, we would be living in a much better place. And I'm very blessed and thankful to be able to do something like this for him. And he loves his community. He loves his school. Like I said, this man he's coached with everybody that's been here, and he's never received a penny, for doing it. And I can't imagine what this man is given, and that's really what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to give more than we receive, and he's the poster child for that. First of all, he's a first-class Christian. These young men get to see what type of Christian man he is, and get to see that he don't just talk it, he walks it. And then what a great family man he is, what a great husband, what a great father, what a great grandfather. So that's life. And for these kids to be able to see that, and we feel like we have that in our whole coaching staff, with myself, with Coach Bartley, with Coach Fraley, with Coach Hal, and and like you said, that's bigger than wins and losses, is helping these young men go out and be productive people in our community or wherever they live in life. Like I said earlier, he gives a whole lot more than he takes, and I'm just glad that I've got through coaching. You meet a lot of people, and just think, man, 7 years ago, I didn't know who he was, and I've been so blessed to meet him, and I'm so proud to say he's my friend, and that's why I wanted to do that for him. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on. What a great fellow he is.
All right, thank you again to our sponsors, Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps, and the City of Pikeville. Go check out their website at www.cityofpikeville.com. And listen, we got a really, really cool interview with Jason Booher coming up.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Booher, principal at Shelby Valley, or at Pikeville, excuse me, former head coach at Shelby Valley, led Shelby Valley to 2 back-to-back All-A state championships in 2009 and 10, and in 2010 completed the Sweet 16 state championship with Shelby Valley as well. Now he's kind of switched gear and started running. Once he started running, he's qualified for the Boston Marathon, which if you're a marathoner, that's one of the major ones. Yep. So he's got these new goals set. He wants to run the 6 major marathons in the world, and he's also a survivor of the Carrollton County bus crash. So he's got 27 reasons why, 26 miles in a marathon. Each mile is dedicated to a person who was lost in the bus crash, the biggest DUI fatality in America's history. He was a survivor. He's wanting to raise awareness for DUIs. And the cool thing about his jersey, it says, has all this. And then on the back of his jersey, it's got each person's name for each mile, and then the last 0.2 miles is dedicated to his best friend. So just an incredible story. He's an incredible person. If you ever get to meet Jason Booher, you can see the stuff he does. He's a goal-oriented guy. He works to make his dreams come true, and this is just another reason why he's doing it.
Yeah, this is definitely a story you will want to stick around and watch. Just a super cool story from the guys here at the Appalachian Newspapers with Pikeville Principal Jason Booher. Stick around.
Well, once I retired from coaching and, came from Covington Homes back to Pikeville, and I didn't have coaching and I didn't have those ball games every night. So I'm so competitive of a person. I had to find something I could compete in. And, I'm getting older. So, the other sports with the ball is hard to still play at my age because you get hurt real easy, which in running you do as well. But I got into running because it's competitive. It gives you something to do. It's good for you. You're allowed to keep your health going. You can keep weight off. And it's just a healthy lifestyle, and it's competitive. So I'm getting the best of both worlds. So I started running like 5Ks, 10Ks. My son is started when he was at Beechwood up there going to school with the cross country and track programs, and got me interested in running really through him starting to pick it up there. So when we moved back here, I started running like 5Ks and 10Ks. And then I said, well, my bucket list is to run one marathon. So I ran the Hatfield-McCoy, and it was a brutal course. It's very, very hard. And then I'm like, oh, I'd like to break 4 hours in a marathon. So I went to a marathon. It took me 3 marathons to finally do that. And once I broke 4, then I'm like, well, let's see if we can Boston qualify. So I Boston qualified, but didn't get in this year. Yesterday I ran it. I qualified by 17 seconds, but you had to have a 4-minute and 52-second, they call that a cushion buffer. Yeah. So I didn't get in to run yesterday, but now this year I'm almost 5 minutes under the cushion, so I should be in good shape to run this time next year. April 20th next year is when it is. Right, and that's one of the things that he really loves running. I've learned to enjoy it and love it as well. And I used to be able to run and train with him, but he's way too fast now. So I can't run with him on his easy runs on my fast days. So he's left me in the dust. I can't train with him anymore unless he just slows down for Dad. And but yeah, it's a good bond. And the good thing about running, unlike football, basketball, those sports where the older you get, it's hard to play. Running is a lifelong sport, so it doesn't matter the age that you are, you can continue to run and compete. So it's been good. It's a good thing for a dad and son, good bonding. It is, and it's a crazy thing. And a lot of people, you tell them you run marathons and run 26.2 miles, as fast as you can, they think those people are crazy. But when you back up and look at it as a runner, that is crazy. And but like you said, running is addictive, and you get out, and if you go a day without running now, it's almost feel like there's a sense of unfulfillment or something for that day. And so it's an addictive sport. It really is. And runners, once they get that, high each day, it's something that you can go out and if you don't do it for that day, you feel like you're missing something when you go to bed that night. So yeah, it's very addictive, and it's a great sport. It really is. Running takes a lot of self-discipline. It does, because it's a individual sport, unlike a team sport where you got a team practice every day. There's many days. It took me 4 years to finally get into Boston, the marathon, to train for that. But many days you have to wake up before work at 4:30 in the morning, get out of bed it's freezing outside, or it's hot and humid, it's pouring the rain. All the weather elements that Kentucky faces each day, you have to train in that. And it's dark at 4:30 in the morning, and you're by yourself, and in all those different weather elements. You talking about self-discipline. You have to be very self-disciplined in order to do something like that. Well, what I tell Harrison is, he was able to grow up as a young boy, from little bitty all the way through his eighth grade year of watching Dad work a team and work them hard, and how hard of work, or the work ethic that you got to have to be a championship level team or individual in this case. So the good thing about Harrison is Harrison knows how to train. He knows the discipline and sacrifice it takes to be a champion. And those things, I talk to him about that often. is that he knows how to be a champion because he's been groomed since he's been a little kid. And so, yes, we use that all the time. I'd like to add about the bus crash and what and dreams that I've had.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because people that know me, I'm a goal-oriented guy, and I'm a dream setter, and I try to chase dreams. Winning the state championship, that was a dream, and I set that at a young age, and I always wanted to do that as a player or coach, and I was able, fortunate, and good Lord allowed me to do that as a coach. Once we did that, I wanted to take 2 teams to the state tournament, different teams, so I was able to go to Covington Homes and do that up there as well. So that was a dream of mine as well. So Boston qualifying, that was a goal and a dream. Getting in, which will be in 2020, that's a dream of mine that's going to come true. Now my next, because I've always got it, like I said, I'm out of coaching, so I got to have other goals and dreams somehow. So one of my biggest dreams is there's 6 majors in marathons. The Boston, New York, Chicago, that's the 3 that's in America, Berlin, Germany, London, Tokyo. My dream now is to run all 6 of them. And then you get this huge medal with all 6 medals that go around it. But I'm running in Berlin in September. I was able to get in that. So I'm running in that major. That'll be my first major in September in Berlin, Germany. And then next April will be my second major. That'll be Boston. Wow. But what I do is I've already got my singlet. I'll show it to you. Yeah. So on the front of my singlet, it's 27 reasons survivor of our nation's worst DUI crash, Carrollton bus crash, May 14th. Then on the back of it, and this is what's awesome. I really love this bag. You haven't seen that? I haven't shown you.
I haven't seen it yet. I know.
All right, so on the back, I've got Just Say No. No, the new one. I'll send you the new one.
Okay.
It's got the state of Kentucky on it with the star where Carrollton is, where the Carrollton bus crash. But every mile is dedicated because it's 26.2 miles. We had 27 people die. So every mile, each mile is dedicated to one of the people that didn't make it off.
Oh my goodness.
And then the last 0.2 is my best friend Chad Witt that was sitting with me in the seat.
Oh my goodness, that's
so
awesome.
I'm gonna, through all this, I'm trying to raise awareness for the consequences of drinking and driving. Well, I thought 26.2 miles, and I speak all the time about the bus crash, and that's 27 kids that didn't make it off. I'm just thinking, what's a way I can contribute that, and raise awareness by doing all this, and going to run these major marathons. And it just something clicked, and I'm like, why don't I just dedicate each mile every time I run a mile in a marathon, and that keeps me going. It gives me something to think about instead of thinking about the whole big picture, 26.2 miles. I'm thinking each mile. This one's for Jennifer Arnett. Number 2's for Cindy Atherton, and I'm just going to go down the line, and then that last sprint to the finish is going to be for my best friend from 1st grade all the way through 8th grade, Chad Witt. My next goal is to run all 6 majors. I've got 2 coming up, Berlin and in Boston, and then of course the big thing is I'm running these majors to raise awareness for consequences of drinking and driving.
All right, we want to say thank you again to our sponsors, Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps, and the beautiful city of Pikeville. Go check out the website at www.visitpikeville.com, and listen, we got a lot of stuff coming up in the Appalachian newspapers to look forward to in the coming weeks.
Yeah, we're trying to work on stories, getting up with Shelby Valley 8th grade quarterback Russ Osborne. He goes down there and wins a future camp. Just a big time thing. Trevor Lawrence has competed in these camps. Some big names. So really big deal for an 8th grader from the area. Also Jackson Hensley, we're trying to get up with him. He had a Nike regional open meet this week at Combine, and he finished 3rd overall. Wow. Ran a 4.33, I believe. Just incredible stuff. We're trying to get those for next week. We're right now in the process of getting up with those guys. Also, we'll be back to regular highlights and stories, and we've got a ton of stuff on the way. All
right. Well, thank you again for joining us. We appreciate all the likes and views on YouTube. Keep checking out the videos, and we'll see you next week. Bank on It Podcast.